Good morning, guys. Sorry for the slight delay today. The COVID is making me cough my lungs out this morning, but but nonetheless, the market's actually doing pretty well. So looking at the market today, lots of stocks are popping back to the upside here. We have DraftKings that kind of gapping back up again. I noticed Coinbase is leading my watch list to the upside today, which is nice. It's up like 7% this morning as Bitcoin is also starting to fly back up, which is interesting to see. So across the board, seeing a lot of great movement, especially out of these growth plays. I know Asana has had some amazing price action lately, and it looks like Asana is going to try to go ahead and break back out again here today. It's trying to break that high of yesterday, looking pretty hot, looking hot. Hopefully it can start to run back up, though. I had a big move with earnings yesterday, and an insider, Dustin Moskovitz, actually purchased even more, and it says that he doubled down on his stock. So that is very interesting, but seriously, it sounds pretty nice. And in the end, Asana's stock is seriously starting to move up in a pretty good way. You can see here over the past couple weeks, it's starting to recover back up to those recent highs, up there around $30 a share. 29.50, I guess, is the technical level, but nonetheless, though, it's coming back up and looking really good here on that daily. Lots of momentum coming in, so I'm really liking some of these growth plays this morning. I think that's probably the way to go here. But yeah, I appreciate everybody joining up today. I appreciate all of the nice comments and everything so far. Keisha says, I've been holding Asana since before earnings. So nice one, Keisha. Very nice. I'm glad to see it's moving up for you, I guess, then. I know that the earnings on Asana have been pretty influential. Wow, Asana's setup was pretty good, guys. Bounced like right off of lower support. Boom. This is tempting. Yeah, this thing's tempting to get in. It's already up so much, though, this month. It's like, dang. But yeah, good morning, Keisha, George, Mike, Jamie, Dang, Bill W, Xbox. Appreciate everybody. Xbox says, morning, Tom and everyone else. Are we looking at any specific plays? Hell yeah. One of my, of course, like I said, Asana's one of my favorites. DraftKings I'm really watching this morning, too, for another possible breakout to the upside. Looking at other stocks on the watch list here. XPEV is one that I'm watching along with Roblox. I think those two stocks look pretty hot today. XPEV is starting to move up in a pretty good way. Has some nice green coming in, which is cool to see. So they have some green today. Roblox has green at open, which is good. AI is running up today at open. What about Shopify? That one looks pretty good too. Shop. Yeah, Shop's breaking out. Like, guys, these growth stocks are breaking out. So eye those up. I think that those will be the way to go today, just like it was yesterday. Also, yesterday, banks were running. I wonder how they're doing now. Okay, yeah, they're just kind of consolidating up here, but still pretty green on the day, and JP Morgan's breaking out. So not bad look at the banks either. I will say my watch list is almost all green today. I only have a few stocks down in the red, and unfortunately, it's a few stocks that have been doing pretty well lately, like Enphase, Rivian, Moderna, FSLR. Those stocks, for some reason, today are falling back off, but a lot of other growth stocks are moving up, though, so we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. Wow, I can't believe Clean Energy's falling back down. Clean Energy's been kind of ripping up over the past couple weeks. It's interesting to see it come back down like this. Asana, there we go. Come on, Asana, let's break 25. That'd be cool. Like I said, it's not even really breaking out yet. We need to break 25 to have a big move up. That's a big resistance there on Asana. All right, at 25. But yeah, let me know what stocks you guys are watching today. We can go ahead and check out some cool plays, but that's pretty much what I'm watching, Xbox. Watching a few of these growth plays, waiting for some more breakouts to come in, like with Asana above 25. Let's see, JP Morgan would be nice if it could start to run up and break its high of day at around 119.70 up there. That would be nice. Ha, Keisha says, I diamond-handed Google. Nice one, Keisha. I hope that play is doing well for you. The calls I had are probably still losing. Honestly, I bet the Theta has been killing Google here the past couple days. But hey, I'm glad you're winning on it. That's awesome to see, Keisha. Diamond handed it. Keisha's been on fire lately, guys. She's been posting some nice plays. Xbox says, how's old Tessie doing? Oh, Tessie, can't forget about them. Yeah, they're actually doing pretty hot so far. Had a nice gap up this morning. And yeah, so far it opened looking pretty good. Let's see the 1 minute. Definitely a good move so far. It could slow down a little bit, but I have a feeling good old Tessie might keep going. But yeah, great trades, Keisha. Diamond hand in the Google play. That was all the way from last Friday. That's awesome, Keisha. Let me know how much you're up on it. That'd be nice to know. Bouncing off, though, says watching DNA. I don't think I've ever even heard of this one. I don't even want to say that word. Bioworks, though. Sounds like a bad word to say. DNA, though, I like it. Interesting. Sounds like a company like, sounds kind of like, trying to think of the name, like some genomics stocks. Sounds like BNGO. Sounds like some of those types of stocks with DNA. Let's see BNGO. Oh wow, look at BNGO. I didn't realize Bingo had the big pop recently. Oh wow. Wow. BNGO actually don't look too bad, guys. Bionano Genomics. Dang, that thing got really low. Keisha says, I sold my ABT too soon yesterday. That thing is on fire. Let's see, ABT. Nice, Keisha. I mean, I'm still glad you won on it, but dang, yeah, you're right. It is on fire. That thing is seriously going. Another W for Keisha. Really nice. Bouncing off says DNA, programming, biology. Yeah, it sounds like genomics. It's kind of, that's like what genomics is. I bet DNA is probably in Kathy Wood's, Kathy's ARK. Let's go look at Kathy's ARK and see the genomics ETF. See if it's in there. DNA is the ticker. Oh yeah, I can just search it now. Forget about that. DNA. Does she own it? Ooh, she does own it. Yep. She owns it in ARKG and ARKK. You can see the buys here, actually. She bought 184,000 shares yesterday. Or I should say on the 6th. Wow. Yeah, grabbing a lot of shares of DNA. That's interesting. Huh. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll have to throw Spy up here real quick. My COVID's getting to me right now. Just give me 1 or 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Let's hope that Spy can start to break out today, though, guys. That'd be really nice. See some nice moves up above there. Man, I'm glad they let you mute microphones nowadays. If you guys had to hear that. Appreciate you guys joining up, though, and putting up with my sickness this week, though. Seriously, I do appreciate that. That does help quite a bit that you guys are so supportive. So thank you guys, of course. But yeah, appreciate it. George says AI is breaking out of the recent high. Let's see. AI. Dang. That is a big move for AI today. 4.3%. AI has a long way to go, unfortunately. I own this one. I own this one a little bit. Down over 50% on that one. Dang, AI has been getting killed here this year. I own it somewhere in the 30s, like 35 or 30, somewhere right around there, but it's got a long way to go. Come on, AI. Let's start filling that gap back up. Oh. Xbox. What do you think of the whole 3D printing and the future? 3D printing body parts, mechanical parts, etc. You know, Xbox, I think that is going to be a very cool thing for the future. 3D printing things and stuff. I think that'll be awesome as we start to advance and the technology gets even better and better and better. It's already quite advanced now, but yeah, I really like it, Xbox. I think 3D printing can be awesome. I wish that they could come up with some type of like metal 3D printer, which I think that they're trying to come up with, but you know, I understand that would be very tough to make, you know, heating up metal and somehow, you know, somehow getting metal to be 3D printed would be very tough, but nonetheless though, that does sound like a really cool thing in my opinion, and I feel like some of these stocks could start to seriously move up. Bouncing off says Nano Dimension. Let me see the ticker for that bouncing off. I think that's a real stock, isn't it? I remember hearing about that one. But yeah, I really like 3D printing. I think that could be a big thing for the future. Like Xbox said, body parts and stuff like that. I think that's probably what it'll start to be used for first, and then I feel like it can start to get even better as time goes on. But nonetheless, though, I know that 3D printing and all that is going to be a pretty big thing, and I know it should be a pretty lucrative, I guess. It should be a pretty lucrative sector eventually. I know there is a few pretty big companies for it. Let's see, 3D Systems ticker. Oh, DDD, that's right, 3D. DDD. Yeah, there it is. DDD is one of the good ones I remembered. 3D Systems. I actually have a big support line drawn on here to like 1134. It's actually really close to support too. I kind of like that setup. Reminds me of Zoom. It reminds me of all the other growth stocks. Not too bad. But yeah, thanks for the ticker bouncing off. Forgot about it. NNDM, that's right. Has a bit of higher lows going on here over the past month or so, and bouncing well off support, not looking bad at all. Kind of like the setup here. It's looking pretty good. Xbox says, do you have any companies in mind? Yes, Nano Dimensions is a real company. I made money on it last year. Same with BNGO. Yeah, I know a lot of people were trading NNDM, weren't they? I will say I'm glad you made money on it last year because, damn, the past year's been rough on this one. It's been a tough one for all the growth plays, so I'm not blaming NNDM, but damn. Been dropping like a fly. Dropping like a fly. Nano Dimensions. I do like BNGO, though, I will say that. It looks like a... I still feel like BNGO will be awesome for the future. It's just getting to the point where the technology catches up, I think, is the main issue with some of these genomics plays. But looking at the rest of my watch list here today, NIO. NIO actually is having a great day, up 8.5% now. Look at that 5-minute chart of NIO. It had a huge extension up. It was even higher than, it was probably over 10% there at the high of day. So yeah, amazing moves for NIO. That's great to see. Like I said earlier, Coinbase was coming back and looks like it's trying to rip back up now after falling off at open. So that's nice. Peloton's up at the top of my watch list, running up. With Asana, Fubo's getting close to the high as well. Actually, Fubo is making kind of new daily highs. Nice, okay. This week has been awesome for growth, guys. And at open the past 3 days, Fubo's been ripping. And today is no exception. Right at open, just big green candles running in here. It looks really good. A lot of these clean energy plays are still on fire, like Blink. Earlier this morning, a lot of those stocks were kind of still down. Let's see my watch list here. Yeah, like Enphase is still down, but some of these car companies like Blink, NIO, cars like that are doing good. But then again, like Rivian's kind of down, so interesting. Tesla's looking okay. Oh, look at Tessie go. Here we go, guys. Tesla's kind of breaking. If you guys are looking for some nice momentum plays here, Tesla does not look too bad. Microsoft's up into the green, which is great. JP Morgan and banks are up again. JP Morgan's kind of bouncing right off of support, guys, at 118.80. Might be a pretty good dip buy today. All these stocks are ripping back up right now, and if JP Morgan and these bank stocks move up and start breaking those recent highs again, that'll be another really good sector to watch. So throw the banks on the radar, guys. Seriously, I think that'll be a very nice sector for this morning and today. Just today in general, I think it'll be great. Oh, man, bouncing off says, yeah, I got whacked. Yeah, I don't blame you on some of those stocks bouncing off. I mean, it's been a rough past year for those. Just about, honestly, for just about every stock. Almost everything's been down this year. Keisha says, what is your next resistance on Asana? Let's see. Good old Asana. Wow, yeah, nice. It broke out above 25. Nice breakout there, Keisha. Let's go try to find the next major one. Ooh. Kind of tough here, but I see one kind of like at like 25.80. Like 25.80 would be one of the first ones I eye up, Keisha. And then after 25.80 though, $27 I think is going to be the main one to look for up here at the top. So I would say 27 is the main level, but there is some intraday resistance kind of at like 25.80. So just watch those two levels. Like I said though, 27 would be the main level that I'm really looking for a nice pop back up here. Yeah, and looking at it back in the beginning of August, Asana was seriously consolidating a lot between $25 and $30. So there's been a lot of areas between 25 and 30. So I would say besides 27, just look at a whole bunch of areas right here, like 27, then 28 has some resistance at it. 29 and 29.50 up there at the top also have big resistance. So there's a lot of different levels, and you can see that in the past, Asana was gapping up and gapping down all throughout this range. So I think it's a tough setup, but, you know, as long as these growth plays keep having momentum, Asana should do pretty well today. And with Moskovitz buying more, I think it's going to turn a lot of people onto the stock here soon. Bouncing off says thoughts on Bitcoin and Ethereum, BTC USD. Let's see. BTC USD. Kind of forget about that, but yeah, it's really ripping. Bitcoin's flying back up here after having a bad drop this week. Yeah, you can see it had that bad drop early on in the week, and then ever since we've been rocketing back up, though, it's been actually looking pretty hot. So not bad moves out of Bitcoin. We'll take that. Moving okay for us there. Pretty cool. Actually, a pretty big candle today on Bitcoin. Let's go look at Ethereum, ETH USD. That might be nice. Yeah, this is really nice. Ethereum's looking pretty good here. Ethereum and Bitcoin are both looking pretty good at the bottom. I'd say Bitcoin looks a little bit better though, but yeah, I like Bitcoin better in this scenario, but still, I think both will end up being pretty good here, especially if growth and this all these stocks keep coming back up. I think Bitcoin is something that lately has been following growth. So honestly, if growth goes up, I think Bitcoin could go up as well. I'm hoping though that people don't start giving up on Bitcoin because man, it's been a very tough, very tough go over the past couple months with Bitcoin, I will say, and a lot of people I know have been screwed by Bitcoin so many times that I feel like a lot are going to quit soon, but hey, Keisha says, yeah, I agree. Thanks. And don't forget about wheat, guys. That setup is really nice. I'm in October 21st expiration. Oh, yeah, I forgot about wheat. Good old wheat, but I do like that setup on wheat a lot, Keisha. I like that a lot. And I like the green candle today. Looking good. Looking pretty solid. Yeah, this is awesome here. Wheat. I know wheat was flying up last year, or oh, it was this year. It was flying up earlier this year with all those commodities, but then it started dipping right back. Now we're moving back to the upside here. I think it looks pretty good. I know ZW is the wheat futures. Let's check those out. Yep, it's like an exact chart of wheat. So looking pretty good. I'm glad that wheat follows the futures very close. I will say though, there is some stuff with wheat that like obviously it's a commodity, and these commodities that farmers plant and stuff like that in the United States, like wheat, soybean, affected by seasons, weather. Man, I hope the stream is doing all right. Yeah, guys, let me know if that stream's doing good. My software is telling me it's messed up, so the stream might have lagged, guys. If it did, just let me know. But nonetheless, though, FTNT not looking bad today. I mean, really good moves today. In the short term, it's looking great. Oh, yeah, Dang says lagging hard. Uh-oh. Yeah, sorry, guys. My internet today has been whack. My computer, all morning, it's been telling me I haven't had any internet. So I don't even know how I'm streaming right now. But now it came back and said it's working. But before the stream even got on, I was talking to Mike. And I was like, man, Mike, I was like, my computer's telling me I don't even have connection right now. But it was working, so that's kind of funny. Xbox says I had to leave and come back because of the lag. Uh-oh. Dang, sorry, guys. This is my internet company, though. CHTR, Charter Communications. It's called Spectrum Internet. I will say this company, guys, has been on fire the past few years. It was insane to see how this one went from like $200 to $800. And now it's still looking pretty good, honestly. I like this company though, CHTR. It's pretty good. If you guys are from the Midwest at all, you probably heard of them. Pretty huge here in the Midwest and even the South. Honestly, it's the best internet you can buy here, so it's pretty much the best around me at least. Dang says, yeah, I don't know. My Robinhood was lagging too. That's funny. Is it lagging again? I hope it's not lagging again, guys. Galt says no. T-Mobile, which is partnering with SpaceX. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool, Galt. Keep in mind, though, T-Mobile's more of like a phone company. I don't even think you can get like internet sent to my house with T-Mobile. At least where I live. Or if it is, it's with some dumb satellites that aren't as quick. Starlink. Oh, yeah, that's right. Starlink is with SpaceX, though, which is cool. That's the cool thing about it, but Xbox says, I have Xfinity at home, and I use Metro PCS by T-Mobile on my phone. Nice, yeah. I've heard of both of those. Yeah, Xfinity. Yeah, maybe that. Okay, yeah, that might be kind of T-Mobile's thing. Or Bouncing Off says they were getting sticky charts on Webull yesterday. Dang, on Webull. Tesla, guys, look at that. $297. Almost back up to $300, which is awesome. Galt says, I have great internet with T-Mobile near Chicago. Nice. Nice, Galt. I know it's different everywhere, though. It's funny, because, like, Mike's down in Florida, and he's like, it's kind of funny, because his internet companies there are so weird. I've never even heard of them. Never even heard of some of them. At least I've heard of these ones. But let's go back and look at some of these stocks that are moving today. And guys, let me know what stocks you guys are watching. If you see anything big that's moving today, let me know. I'm looking for some nice breakout plays, of course. Zoom's looking pretty hot if it could keep going. A lot of these growth plays are popping up off of recent lows, and they're looking very nice here. I'm really looking to try to grab some Meta shares here towards the bottom, guys. Definitely going to grab some. The question is how many and when. Look at Meta. Yeah, I really want to get some more Meta shares, or get some Meta shares. Sorry about that, though, guys. Looking at Meta, though, it's looking pretty good today. Having nice pops here. I've been really liking it off of that recent support down here at the bottom at like 157. Look at this daily chart of Meta. This low here at 157 has held up amazingly well. Like, actually so amazingly well that it's very, very tempting to grab them shares down here. Wow. I mean, I'm probably going to get them today at some point. I got to let something go, though. Come on, Meta. Man, I like that setup. The setup is so good on good old Meta. Seriously, though, guys, I think this is a very underrated play. I think it's extremely underrated. Xbox says Xfinity is Comcast, I believe. Nice, okay. Comcast, that's right. That's a pretty big one too. I've heard of that one a lot. I think that one's huge on like the East Coast, but nonetheless, it's probably big everywhere. That's a big company. Bouncing off says IWM. Is that the Russell? Looking at the Russell today? Let's see. Oh, wow. That Russell's having a very nice pop back, isn't it? The Russell looks like a damn growth stock. That's pretty funny, though. Having a nice pop, though. Seriously, good pop out of the Russell. Nice. Bouncing off also says, I got some NVIDIA at $133. NVDA, $133. Very nice. That is like the perfect low down here. Almost perfect. Bouncing off, you got it. You hit it right on the head. It's bouncing right off of where you bought it. Very nice. I'm also looking to grab some NVIDIA sometime soon. Xbox says, hey, Tom, do you have any good stories? Let me think about that. Some good stories. I definitely do. I'm trying to think of some good ones, though. It's hard to think about some of them. Man, now that you asked that, I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, maybe I don't have any stories. No, I do, though. I just can't think of them. I have some pretty funny trading stories, though. I think of some good stories here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm actually gonna go take care of the COVID real quick. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, seriously. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Alrighty, guys. I am back. Uh-oh. Drake, that was the story I didn't want to tell. That is funny. Drake says, when you told me that, I was confused how you got 18K in the first place. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Everybody is. But that story, we'll save that story for a different day. How about today? I'll hit you guys. How about this story? We'll do the story with the first time I ever met Mike. The first time I ever met Mike. We'll go ahead into that story. The first time, I guess we should say that Mike and myself actually ever talked, which is kind of funny. But all right, so we'll just get right into it. We'll dive right in. So pretty much I was trying to trade back in the day. It was let me get up a little calendar here. It was back in like 2017, 2018. Actually, it was earlier than that. It was like 2014, 2015. Sorry about that. 2014, 2015. And I was trading. I was trying to find all these different trading groups. I was trying to find a good community to join to trade with. And obviously, there's a lot out there. And pretty much in the beginning, I was in a few pretty popular Discord groups, Facebook groups, stuff like that. I'm not going to name names, but you guys definitely know some of these trading groups out there. And it was like the big name ones, we'll say. And eventually it got to the point to where I became a moderator for one of these groups. And I became that moderator, and the people that I traded with, we called ourselves the Futures Squad. All that we did was trade futures. We traded ES, we traded GC, we traded ZS, ZW, we traded HG, we traded all the future symbols. We traded 6E even. We traded that's the euro for anyone who doesn't know. We were trading everything back then. In the futures market though, only futures. And we ran that section of that community that I'm not going to name. But nonetheless though, it was a pretty big thing. And Futures Squad had like their own little call outs and stuff like that going. And essentially, Mike tried to join this group, and essentially I kicked him out. I kicked Mike out of this group, which is hilarious. I got him banned, and it was funny because then I went on trading for a few months, and eventually I left the group too. But it was funny because I kind of got Mike banned from this group initially. And Mike was kind of like messaging people like, hey, how's trading going, and stuff like that. And we were, I was like, oh, ban, like I banned him. And it was kind of funny. And then he came back, though, to my memory a few months later after I quit the group. Mike came back to my memory. And I remember I kept seeing him pop up on Facebook over and over and over and over and over and over. And he would just make I would keep seeing posts and stuff, and I eventually, I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm going to message Mike here. So I messaged him, and he reached out. He got me on a phone call, and it was awesome. Mike sold me on the I guess you would say the first iteration of statistical modeling. Mike called me on the phone, sold me on it. And apparently I was Mike's first sale there. So it was awesome. It was pretty funny. Mike called me. I was at my grandpa's house. I'll never forget it. I was sitting there talking with him for a couple hours, and Mike's a pretty good talker on the phone. And he sold me pretty well on it, but it was funny cuz at the time he was pretty young and I was young too, and it was just funny. I was like, who is this guy? I was like, man, this is pretty big, and now it's pretty insane, to go from a random sales call in 2015 or whatever it was to now. It's pretty big. But yeah, that's how I met Mike back in the day. It was a pretty funny story though. I banned him was the way that we met, and then then it went from there. I was like, hey, I could help you moderate a group and everything like that. And, started getting some good plans together, and then Stocked Up was kind of born. It was already born before I was there, of course, but, it was kind of, that's when the ball got rolling, we'll say. Pretty good though, pretty good. Hope you guys like that one. We'll talk next week about the $18,000 story. The $18,000 story we'll do next week. I don't want to ruin my Friday with that one. It was on VXX though, for anyone who knows the story. VXX got me back in the day. 18 grand in just a couple hours. Yeah, it was a tough play. Very tough. Yeah, about the 18K. My grandfather played a good role in that. KFC manager says, "Is anybody bullish?" That is a funny name. KFC manager. Anybody bullish? I'm bullish. Personally, I am. Maybe not intraday at the moment. Yeah, I'm still bullish on the day. SPY still looks pretty hot to me. I mean, it's probably not going to keep running with the way it already gapped up and stuff, but it's pretty big. Pretty good move up. I'd say I'm more bullish than I am bearish right now. Tesla, Apple, Microsoft. Yeah, I feel like some of these stocks can definitely keep going today. Headsplinter said, "I think you told me about that story a few months ago, or maybe that was something else." Yeah, that was probably that, Headsplinter. I think it was the VXX play. I've told that one a few times. That one's pretty funny. Xbox says, "Would you say you got too greedy on the play on VXX?" Yeah, I definitely did get too greedy on that one. I did. And the main issue is that I didn't scale into my position correctly. I overscaled in. I got in on a day when VXX went up like 50% or something, and then obviously VXX is one of those crazy stocks. It can have a month where it goes up like 300% sometimes. So yeah, I got way too greedy. I scaled in way too quickly with way too much money. Ended up going way into the margin to the point of getting called, and yeah, I just got way too greedy on that one. I will say most people probably wouldn't have done what I did though. I was trying to make a crazy play shorting that. It actually would have worked great. It would have worked fantastically well if I just had enough money to cover that first initial pop, but man, it was bad. I had to put like, I would have had to come up with like another 20K to put in there to cover that. And you know, at the time I was like 18 years old or something. It probably seemed, you know, for an 18-year-old to come up with another 20K after just losing 20K, it's like, dang, that's like impossible. Headsplinter says, "Tom, do you think we're going to see a massive run in oil this winter?" That is a good question. I appreciate that question there, Headsplinter. You know, let's eye that up. I think that's a really good question. And I really like talking about the markets in that type of way. So looking at it right now, you know, we're in October, or well, we're in September. We're getting into these fall months. As far as oil, asking if it's going to rip up this winter, I would kind of lean more towards oil going back down a little bit this winter, probably. But that might not happen. The issue is that that energy grid, those energy grid issues are gonna be my main concern here, because you know we're talking about California not wanting people to charge electric vehicles, Germany and the EU or whatever is saying to flatten the curve. There's a whole bunch of factors right now that are in play in the oil sector. And personally, me looking at oil right now, the main thing is gonna be is like what is OPEC gonna do? That's gonna be my main concern. Is OPEC gonna try to make prices lower, or are they gonna try to make prices higher? OPEC is the most manipulative group I think out there. Honestly, it's a big conglomeration of countries. OPEC is. It's called something petroleum and something with the countries. Here, let me get the exact name for you guys here. OPEC meaning, let's see. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Yep, so Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Pretty much, oh yeah, right here. Made up of Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela. I think now you have even more, I think you might even have more countries in it now. Let's see. 13 nations are in it. Here they are. Okay, yeah, the UAE is in there. That's what I thought. That's kind of what I thought too. But yeah, anyways, OPEC, they are very manipulative. They're going to decide to either ramp up production and try to drive oil down, or they're going to cut production and try to drive oil up. And they've been talking a lot lately about trying to cut production to drive it back up. But looking at oil's chart, though, it has lower highs here on the chart. It's starting to fall back down. Very tough setup in my opinion, but I would lean more towards up than I do down. But whenever I lean up, I don't think that we're going to break above the recent high of like 130. I just don't see that happening, but I could see us maybe getting back up to above 100 a barrel. Again, I think that could be a very realistic thing to see. But I don't think that we're going to see anything massive, though. Yeah, we're not going to see anything massive, in my opinion, but I do think that we will see some pretty big jumps up. But I don't think that we're going to break 130. But honestly, even if we get back to 130 again, that would be pretty massive in its own right. That would be a... God dang, that's a well over 50% move from here, I think. Yeah, it is. It would be just over, I think. Mike Chang says, next time you should talk about how you and Mike got into trading for a living. Yeah, definitely, Mike. I'll have to do that. I'll do that on the next story time. So remind me next week, guys. We'll have another story time next Friday. How about that? We'll make that like a tradition. Every Friday we'll have story time. Take-Two Interactive, though, looking pretty good today, guys. I like that setup. Remember, this is the company that's going to make Grand Theft Auto 6. It's going to be the biggest game ever, probably, when it comes out. I hope it is, but it's going to have a lot of hype to live up to. Headsplinter says, do you believe Russia will actually stop exporting oil to Europe because of the price caps, or are they all just talk? Let's see. Honestly, I would say that I think that they'll really stop. Personally, I think, didn't they already say they did? Russia cuts off pipeline. Oh, okay, it was a natural gas pipeline. Okay, that's what they cut off. Natural gas. But still, though, I feel like, I do feel like that they will stop exporting it, Headsplinter. I don't think that they're scared to stop that at all. So, I honestly, I hope they do it. Teach Europe a lesson here. You know, I mean, I'll be honest, guys. Trump warned Europe so much about this with Russia. And you know what? Europe kind of hates us. They don't want to listen to us. So, they can, they can reap their own problems, I guess. It does suck, though. It sucks, but whenever you let a country as messed up as Russia control your energy, I mean, honestly, like how stupid are their leaders over there? Like, seriously, like, did their leaders even ever take an economics class? Or, like, ever read a history book about Russia? I mean, like, come on. It's kind of silly how bad they are. Oh yeah, let's just rely on the worst country in the world. Well, one of them. Historically. Here, watch this. This is pretty bad, guys. Russia had so many people die after World War II. It's insane. It makes Germany seem like wimpy with how many people they killed. Russia deaths. post World War II. I mean, it was bad, guys. Like, people talk about, like, look at this. 42 million people. 42 million people, according to this one website. Some people say more, some people say less. Like China, 20 million people dead. I mean, man. And a lot of these aren't just because, like, look at that. 8.7 military deaths and 19 million civilian deaths. I mean, that's just terrible. Like, if you just didn't agree, you were just simply, like, shot and burned. It's just like, come on. You're talking about a country that within the past 70 years has done all this. It's like, oh man. Yeah, Head Splinter says they closed the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. Good old Nord Stream. Keisha says, I think J&J is building up for a nice pop to the upside. Let's check it out. Johnson & Johnson. Glad to see it holding up well today. Yeah, I see a big resistance here, Keisha, right around 166.50 on J&J. Maybe it can break out above that. That would be nice. That would be very nice. Yeah, I think Russia is capable of anything. I don't think they'll stop. Head Splitter says if Russia keeps oil exports off for a while, then it could destroy their oil industry for decades. It could, Head Splitter, but the thing is that they're probably just going to keep producing it and storing it. That's the issue. They might have to quit exporting, but they're just going to sell more to China, sell more to India, you know, those types of countries. Yeah, it'll definitely have some bad implications though. Russia's tough though. They don't really care about the money as much. I've noticed. Like they're not really too worried about the about losing a little bit of money in the short term. Galt says, regarding hybrid, can you comment on what time frame on the charts you look at and any other specific charts, etc., you look into to determine an entry? Let's see. Ow. Let's see. Yeah, so Galt, sorry about that. I was reading all the comments coming in, but regarding the hybrid, as far as I like to look at, I always look at a 5-minute. I look at everything, unfortunately. So this might sound a little crazy, but like, you know, if I see the hybrid come out, I instantly go to the 1 minute and I look at all the movement from the past week. Then I fly really quickly to the 5 minute and I look there, go back a little bit further, look at some of the resistances coming up and stuff like that. Then I go to the 1 hour. I go back even further just to try to find even more levels. And then I look at the daily and then I make a good decision based off of all of the time frames that I looked at. Like I said, the 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 hour, and then the daily is what I personally look at. Now, the time frame I don't think is as big of a deal as what I'm looking for. So the daily chart, I think, is very, very important to look at. Honestly, if you can guess that the day is going to be green or red and get correct on that, your chances of winning go way, way up. So honestly, like today, for example, I'm bullish on J&J. So I would guess that today J&J is going to go green, and I would guess it goes more green than it is now. So I would maybe want to trade this up to like 166 or higher. So with that on J&J, that's kind of like what I would look at right now. But you know, every setup's different though, and you have to try to eye up that setup on the daily chart, because, you know, like I said, if you could guess then the daily move, you usually have a pretty good setup there. But the hybrid is usually such a quick type of play that usually the 5 minute and the 1 minute you can get away with just looking at those. Like this week, for example, J&J, I would be eyeing up like all these areas, like right here that I'm circling blue. That's a huge bounce right there. You see, like, we had a big bounce, multiple rejections right there, and then a big move back up. That is definitely a huge area of resistance here, really close, like 166. So you can see like 166 is a big resistance, and it's actually held up this week even. So I'm always looking for these types of setups, like bounces. You know, I'm looking for stuff like that we're like heading up into, some new certain like areas, stuff like that. It's hard to explain, but it's mainly price action is like what I'm looking at with those hybrids. And of course, I don't get to play every single hybrid play, but a lot of those hybrids do quite well. So also another thing that I think that most people should do on the hybrid that they probably don't, but I like to do this is, so like with the hybrid, like let's just say hypothetically the hybrid called out J&J right now. Okay, you might want to wait till it breaks above the pre-market high to get in, and just maybe wait for a break of some of these big resistances here. And then when you see the break, then it might be a little bit better of an entry. Or, now this is where it gets a little bit confusing. So, or you're looking at price action here, and you're seeing obviously we're running up into big resistance, and you don't want to miss the move up. But like, let's say that, so you buy in right now. If the stock starts falling back down, you need to have some type of level in mind, like for example, like 165 or something like that to cut it at, because you have to have somewhere to cut. And that's the main thing. If this thing reverses, you gotta cut it. And if it goes back up, you can always rebuy in. That's the thing a lot of people don't get. You can cut that sucker really quick and then just, you know, wait for a little bit of momentum, hop back in, and maybe get in on the break. You know, so that's the big thing. I really like to do that. I'll cut very quick and then re-enter, cut quick, re-enter, over and over and over sometimes. Sometimes it gets kind of stupid, but it can be really good because you're cutting really quick and you're minimizing your loss, and you're making it pretty much almost zero, like zero loss with how quick you can cut some of these. And then obviously if it has momentum, then you just run that up. So I know that might sound a little bit easy, almost too easy, and it probably does sound a little bit too easy, but it's a really good way to go, in my opinion. Now, I don't think you should make 10 trades on each hybrid, but, you know, you guys probably get what I'm saying. If you see it start to reverse, like right now, if it called J&J, and J&J falls back under like 165.40, I'd let it go. So simple as that. Let it go till it re-breaks the high of day, then get in. And just ride that momentum up real quick. KFC says, could I drive a tanker to Russia and buy it and bring it back to the USA via proxy in other countries? You know, you probably could, but I'm not sure right now with all the rules with Russia and all that stuff. You're probably not going to be allowed into Russia. Probably, I don't know, but I could see something like that happening. Xbox says, Russia's capable of terrible things, but I don't see them poking NATO in the eye. You don't, Xbox? You don't see them poking NATO in the eye after what they did to Ukraine? They did worse than poke them in the eye. They blew them up. They're going to war. That's funny. They kind of did poke him. I guess they didn't poke him in the eye. They poked him in the stomach. Head Splinter says, so Xbox, you think they'll just accept the price caps? Yeah, they might, Head Splinter. I mean, if they want the money. That's the big thing. If they want the money, they'll probably do it. Keisha says, KR looks good too. Played earnings, getting ready to double down. Let's see, good old KR today. Nice. It does look good, Keisha. Kroger. Glad to see that one popping. The retailers have been doing pretty well lately. Look at that daily chart of Kroger. It looks pretty good. I like that setup here on Kroger, guys. It's breaking out above a recent resistance at $50. Eye this up, guys. I think this is great. Keisha, you called out another great stock today, I think. Great calls this week, Keisha. Guys, Keisha's been on fire. Give her some W's here. She was probably looking for some W's earlier, but I wanted to wait till the end. So, guys, give Keisha some W's. She's been killing it this week, and great trades overall, Keisha. But, yeah, I appreciate you all joining up. Mike Chang says, have a great weekend, everyone. Get well soon, Tom. Thanks for being a trooper and doing this for us. Yeah, no problem, Mike. And, yeah, guys, it's been rough, but, you know, hey, it hasn't been too bad. I feel like I am getting better. It's just like that bad cough and stuff like that right now that's still got me. But yeah, I appreciate everybody joining up. It was an amazing week overall. I would say the market did quite well. SPY was popping up. Lots of growth plays were moving back to the upside. So overall, just great moves this week, guys, and great trades. Glad everybody was making great call outs and stuff like that. So yeah, I appreciate it. But have a great weekend, guys. I will talk to you next week. And, of course, I will always be live. And I'll be live first thing Monday morning. So I'll see you guys then.